I say let's dismantle the hate. And what you saw in this city, in this election, where you saw a shift and the city becoming, the state becoming redder, is because we stopped talking about working class people issues. When mom and pops are afraid, I can't pay my college tuition, the rent is too damn high, healthcare is too expensive. We stopped talking to everyday New Yorkers and Americans. When I'm in the street talking to them, they're not asking me, Eric, tell me about fascism. They talking about finance. They're not talking about Hitler. They're talking about housing. We need to talk to everyday working class people, and we stop doing that. And those are the issues that they are afraid of. They're afraid of the future of their children.
Fascist, but you've defended him. Can you explain?
No, I defended the rhetoric that we're using across our country and what our children are listening to and what we're doing. We've reached a point in this country where we no longer want to engage in conversation. They were even calling him Hitler. That's an insult.
That was only his vice president.
That was an insult. That was an insult to the millions of Jews and others who died. We know what Hitler did. And what I said to our country, when I'm on the streets talking to...
Hey, Mr. Adams. Remember. Shh. Remember, Mr. Adams, because we're going to come get you. We gonna come get you now. We gonna come get you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I couldn't wait to get into this part of the video, man. This is gonna be a really good part of the video, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We're gonna have a little fun, man. You know, but what do y'all think of all this? Comment down below, man. You just can't make this up, man. These women are horrible, you know. But I told y'all a year ago, you know, they're so out of touch, so much hatred, disgusting, you know, so much derangement. They made Trump even look more important, more, you know, more such a, they turned the bad to good, man. You know, they made him look even more good, man. And I tell you, I think this show actually made more Trump voters. I'm just saying, you know, and now more people are tuned in right now because they want to watch these meltdowns. They want to watch them turn on each other and cry. And Sunny Host and all of them, they look like they've been crying for this whole week and a half. And all I can say is, ladies, what did you expect? What did you expect? Y'all thought that the disgusting comments, the hatred, the he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that, conviction, rapist, dictator, Hitler, he's a threat to democracy, he's this, he's that. Just like they ran their campaign. What did you expect? And then these women get up there, you know, laughing and ha, smiling. Ooh, she just got another celebrity endorsement. Ooh, the Swifties. Ooh, beyond the beehive. Ooh, nobody's going to stop us. It's going to be an ultra landslide for Kamala. And then Sunny hosting, let's get her on so we can, you know, right before, you know, we get to this to vote. Let's invite her onto the show. We just had her Tim Walls, Tampon Tim up here last week. Let's get her up next. And they asked her, wait, did Tampon Tim go first or did she? Anyways, it doesn't matter. They asked her, Sunny Hostin asked her, what would you have done different than Joe Biden? Do y'all know the viral clip? She says, oh, nothing. Basically, me and Joe Biden have did such an amazing job. I wouldn't have done nothing different. I'm Joe Biden 2.0. And that's been her campaign, y'all. She couldn't answer a question. She honestly, I think she didn't know what was going on. I think she was drunk. I think it was DEI didn't earn it. Drunk entire inventory. Drunk entire inventory. And I'm sick of people saying, oh, she was qualified. Oh, she was just, no. Obama just wanted his 4th term. Sorry to break it to you. Obama wanted his 4th term, and it was sprinkles and ice cream. The floor was sticky. It was slushy liquid all on the floor. You know, somebody left their socks. And bam, that right there ended her campaign. They played it everywhere, on live on TV, during the football games, everywhere. Of that view, the spew clip of Sunny Holston asking her that simple question. And that's what it's been like. And almost, I told y'all, every single interview we couldn't get an answer. Repeating the same thing. We thought she was drunk, you know. DEI, drunk entire inventory, and also DEI didn't earn it. Not qualified. Sorry, don't mean to hurt your feelings, but we got to be real here, man. They could have had a better candidate. They could have actually did it the right way, the legit way. But again, 0 votes. What did you expect? Her check engine light was already on. We seen Biden blow his motor and transmission live on stage. Billions of people. Now they got memes and videos that will last for a century, centuries. Yeah. What did they expect? You know, that's all I got to say. And then they got the fake news, the bias report, and the propaganda. They got these ladies on the spew, you know, and they make Trump even look better. As much as they attack him, insult him, you know, discredit him, you know, bring him down. Oh, he's dictator, Hitler, racist, he threat to democracy. We can't let him back. He's a bad man. I told y'all, these ladies and all this fake news, all these people, Hollywood, they kept bringing out new new bottles of Diddy oil, that old sweet Diddy oil, a new celebrity. Then bringing celebrities, people that literally can't talk. The more celebrities they bought out, made more people want to go out and vote for Trump. I'm just telling you. We got the Swifties. Then the Swifties went viral for voting for Trump. What? Beyonce. They twerking at the rally with Megan Thee Stallion. People done got paid off millions of dollars, man. And now look how that backfired on them. You just can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't. But let's go and jump into this, man. And we gonna. I had to check this one out for my boy, man. Had to. I know there's an amazing video put together. But again, we did such an amazing job, y'all. And it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So thank y'all for all the love and support, man. And I'm wishing the best in everybody's life. That you had an amazing week. That you spent some time with your loved ones this weekend, man. You know, life is short, man. You never know what's next, what's ahead. You know, that's why I want to wish the best in all you guys' life, man. You know, I do. Prayers for Trump. All I ask we ask is for prayers for Trump, his family, his team, his campaign, because we don't know what to expect next. We just don't. But boy, oh boy, they got Mayor Eric Adams up here, man. New York City. And what's crazy is that New York, she wasn't nowhere near where she needed to be as a Democratic candidate. New York almost turned red. And a whole other lot of places almost turned red. Y'all seen it? Man. Crazy. Look, all we can do is put it out there, but landslide. Thanks to many others, but most definitely these women too. Not just her terrible campaign. They also played a part in this, man. And I don't know how anybody can sit up and watch these women in 2024 and how this is still up on air It should have been canceled a long time ago, but we know woke media not going nowhere. Disney, ABC, CB, I mean, all this crap, alphabetical order, just crap. And now they're just turning on each other, melting down. And as you can, and you'll see some of them when they're going back and forth, they have sense. They actually know the root and cause of this. But again, too stuck up, especially with Joy and Sonny. I know that they've been crying for the past week and a half. Yeah. All I can say is, what did you expect? We tried telling y'all a year ago.
Vice President won New York, but by 12 points as opposed to Joe Biden's 23-point margin. That was a significant move to the right in New York State. What do you attribute and you actually stated that you think you said the far left agenda is backfiring. What do you attribute the decline in support among Democrats in New York to, and what are Democrats getting wrong?
Well, okay, first I want to go back to your original comment. I was calling for the dismantling of hate in our country. Our Sikhs who are being attacked, LGBTQ members are being attacked, African Americans, Jews. I say let's dismantle the hate. And what you saw in this city, in this election, where you saw a shift and the city becoming, and the state becoming redder, is because we stopped talking about working class people issues. When mom and pops are afraid, I can't pay my college tuition, the rent is too damn high, healthcare is too expensive. We stopped talking to everyday New Yorkers and Americans. When I'm in the street talking to them, they're not asking me, Eric, tell me about fascism. They're talking about finance. They're not talking about Hitler. They're talking about housing. We need to talk to everyday working class people, and we stopped doing that. And those are the issues that they are afraid of. They're afraid of the future of their children.
But the Democrats.
Y'all see, look at it now. Look at all their body language, and look at Sonny Jose. Look how just disgusted. But this is why I tell y'all, man, they don't care for the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. The truth upsets them. The truth makes them mad.
Democratic Party was addressing most of those issues with the infrastructure bill, for example, and keeping Medicare and Social Security safe. Why would they vote for the party that will hurt them? I didn't get that.
This is why Joy Behar will never be in charge of a campaign. Thank God. This is why she should never really be involved in politics, because she has no idea what she was talking about. Lady, if what you're saying was true, then Donald Trump would not be the president. Doesn't the results tell you what you're saying is not true? Clearly, if the messaging was resonating, then we would have a different result. The message did not resonate because the message was not clear. And when the voters themselves were saying this, you know what you were doing? Gaslighting them.
Well, you know, part of the business of campaigning is getting your message out and being clear on your message. Even the experts in their party were saying, get back to the message. What are we doing for everyday people in the country? And that's the same thing happened in 2022. When I got elected in 2022, I stated that, listen, we need to be talking about crime in this country. They ignored it. We lost the election. During 2023, I said, we got to deal with this migrant and asylum seeker issue. It was on the top 1 or 2 issues in the country. We ignored it. We have to go back and talk to those issues that people are worried about.
Okay.
Yeah, so what he is saying is nothing new, right? I've been saying it. You've been saying it. Conservatives have been saying
We've all been saying it.
The working class have said it. I mean, everyone said it pretty much. But the legacy media, the elites, these progressive liberals, and these never Trumpers, and anyone else who has Trump derangement syndrome, every single time that these issues were brought up, what did they do? They would gaslight us. And that continues to happen when it comes to how the legacy media is reporting the exit polls from this election. This is why today's sponsor is Ground News. You can head over to ground.news/Tavori to check them out today. So Mayor Eric Adams is spot on when he was talking about the gaslighting. This tool is going to show you
the liberal cities were the resistance, the core of the resistance. What happened in 2024? You think of a major city in the United States, Donald Trump put up the best Republican performance for a Republican nominee for president in at least 20 years, if not the entire 21st century. We're talking about Chicago, Los Angeles, New York City, San Francisco. Across the map, Donald Trump put up historically strong numbers for Republican candidate, for president, in places that, truthfully, if you had asked me 8 years ago, I would have never thought possible.
So, of course, because he's not going along with them, they got to hit him with a gotcha question, right? Which is about all these cases that he's facing legally, and that some people believe that he is a supporter of Trump because he's kind of toned down his rhetoric about Trump. Here's what he had to say.
But critics are suggesting that you have recently embraced Trump, perhaps because you want either the charges dropped or perhaps a pardon from President-elect Trump. What's your response to those critics?
Well, I think nothing is more challenging than not being able to defend yourself in public.
You have the floor.
I know that
I'm sorry.
You have the floor.
Well, he can't really talk about the case.
There you go. Former prosecutor. I'm so glad you're saying that.
Can't talk
A
about
former
the case,
prosecutor.
but you can talk about whether or not you believe that your recent embracing of Trump, your critics are saying, is because you hope for a pardon or you hope to get some sort of the charges perhaps dropped.
Listen, I said it over and over again. I did nothing wrong. I spent 40 years of my life, 22 of them as a police officer, protecting the children and family of the city. I'm consistent of that. I live my life the way I expect everyday New Yorkers are supposed to live their life. I have a legal team. They're going to manage that case. My job is to do what I've done since January 1st, 2022. Make sure crime goes down in the city, record number of housing that's built in the city, turn around our economy, and make sure as you leave this place that you could enjoy the safety of the city. That's my job. I've lived up to that. And the challenges that we face in life, can you continue to do the job that you were elected to do? And the numbers are clear. I'm doing that every day.
Just a few things. Number one, clearly he's not going to answer that question, right? Yeah. Any politician knows, do not answer that question. Secondly, I don't know where Sunny Holston was going with this, okay? They always want to make it about Trump for some reason. This is why the ABC is trying to get new people on that panel, because this is a waste of time. You know he's not going to answer that question. There's no point in even asking that question. It's an ongoing investigation. Can we talk about stuff that actually matters? That doesn't matter right now.
Look, obviously, we're sitting here in New York,
Yes,
talking about this in Manhattan, where there was a swing. But when you look at a map of New York City, biggest city in the country, the big swings right. Yes, it was in Manhattan, but it was also in other parts of the city. And that gives you a real sense of who it was driving the ship.
yeah, exactly right. It was in the Bronx, it was in Queens, it was in Brooklyn. And if you break it down by racial areas, right, you look at the assembly district that has the most Asians in it, you see a massive shift. A massive shift. Look at this. Donald Trump gaining 27 points versus where he did 4 years ago. The highest Hispanic percentage in an assembly district, a 25-point shift. Highest black percentage for an assembly district, a 6-point shift. What's going on is if 2017 or 2016 was the election of the white working class moving over to the Republican ranks, the 2024 election was Trump doing historically well with minority voters.
So why even bring up that question? Oh, I know why. Because they're looking for a soundbite. They want to find a way to obviously attack Mayor Eric Adams if he did say that he supports Trump, because they're always looking to challenge people who do. Now, speaking of challenging people, they definitely didn't like his answer about the big problem facing New York City, which is the illegal migration crisis. Check this out.
Trump is vowing to do mass deportations. There's 500,000 undocumented immigrants living in New York City. Some have lived here for decades. There's DREAM Act kids, dreamers living in New York City. Again, some have.
I don't believe in mass deportation. This is a city where we tell whomever is here to, if you're a victim of a crime, call the police. If your child must be educated, let them go to school. If you need medical attention, allow them to go to the hospital. But Americans have been clear, though. We have a broken immigration system. I don't believe in mass deportation, but I don't believe in mass saturation. 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers came to the city, cost us $6.4 billion.
Okay, can we stop for a moment and really let that set in? 220,000 illegal migrants came to the city, and that's only what they can officially report. I'm sure it's more than that.
Way more.
But it costed them $6.4 billion. Billion. So when Trump has been saying that illegal migration is decimating cities, was that really a lie? No, it wasn't. But the fake news media would have you believe that that was misinformation, right? And this is why some people believe Mayor Eric Adams is under investigation, because he's been one of the most critical governors on the Democratic side of this whole illegal migration crisis. And I do understand and respect the idea. I don't believe in mass deportation, but I also don't believe in mass saturation. I could respect that. See, that's a worthy debate. But to just straight up say, well, it shouldn't be criminalized if people cross the border illegally and then commit crimes, that's ridiculous. In fact, he gets into what he's not able to do and just exposes the problem with the Biden-Harris administration. Check this out.
I'm not allowed to let them work. I'm not allowed to have them be participating in the tax base of this city. We can't deport those who commit crimes in our city. We are not allowed to connect with ICE. This is a failed system. We need to fix it. And if we don't fix it, we're seeing what's happening in Chicago, what's happening in Houston, what's happening in Denver. This is wrong for cities to pick up this course. They only gave me $200 million out of $6.4 billion that it should have gone to everyday issues in our city.
On the other side of that coin, though, you've got Trump, who says that part of his plan is to send troops into the states and into the cities to conduct these mass deportations. Would you let him come into New York City? What's your scenario? What are your plans if he tries to do that in New York City?
We have sat down and did scenario plannings on all of these issues. And there are a lot of laws, there are a lot of requirements. What we must do is to be prepared to address the issues as they come in front of us.
So in other words, he's not really buying into that whole boogeyman, because we know what's happening right now, which is a effort being led by the Illinois governor, where they're pretty much trying to get all these Democratic governors together and make it look like they are going to challenge this whole mass deportation effort. But here's my question to those same governors. If the citizens in your state voted for Trump to do mass deportation, why would you not adhere to what the people have said that they wanted? That's number one. Number two, wouldn't you want the federal government to spend their own money and not yours to deport criminals and child traffickers and drug dealers and anyone else who's here just mooching off the system? Wouldn't you want the federal government to fit the bill on that, or do you want to pay for it? Now, here's the part of Mayor Eric Adams that I actually resonate with him on, is his diet. So he eats a plant-based diet, so do I. And of course, they had to bring up the whole RFK Jr. thing. I thought his answer was what you'd want to see from people who disagree with the pick, but they're not totally unhinged about it. Check this out.
But let's be clear, we have a real problem with our food in our country. And we need to watch what we're feeding our children. And
What is the major problem, do you think?
Too much hormones. Many people know my, I almost lost my sight with diabetes. The doctor told me I would be blind in a year. I was going to lose my fingers and toes. And it was my food. It wasn't my DNA. It was my dinner.
But JFK Jr. RFK Jr. ate some pork and now he has a brain worm. Is he the person that should be in charge of that?
Yeah, well, let's
food?
Right. And let's understand this also. In all of these agencies, there are thousands of employees and experts that understand these topics, and there are rules, there are regulations.
Mayor, a lot of them want to resign. When they see some of the people that are going to be on top, I think there's going to be a mass exodus of people who have the institutional knowledge and the institutional memory and DOD,
I would hope so,
at HHS. Who wants to work under our cook?
And let me respond to that. If we love our country, then no one individual should take us away from our mission.
Yes.
If you dedicated your life to a particular place, I dedicated my life to law enforcement. So if a new commissioner came in that I disagreed with, I was not going to say, I'm going to resign.
Yeah, so that's called emotional intelligence, folks. So these people talking about they're going to quit their careers. I mean, if that doesn't scream a mental health crisis, I don't know what does. I mean, you've dedicated your entire life to these subjects. You'd want someone to come in who's going to think outside the box, who's going to be a little different, who's going to challenge you. And if that's not you, then why are you even there in the first place?
Facts.
If you know that our country is dealing with a health care crisis today, we're not as healthy as we should be, maybe it's time to find a different route.
Let's love the country Let's love our cities. Let's get away from the rhetoric of the professionalism that we know. Those are experts in this. They're going to look at his proposal, do a real analysis, and make these decisions. It happens every day.
Shouldn't he have
Mayor,
a background at
well-
least? He should have some kind of background in this type of thing.
Let me just.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mayor, when Trump returns to office, he will actually have a lot of power with the Republican-controlled Senate and House. He's suggested at times using the National Guard to target the enemy within, and key members of his last administration called him a fascist. But you've defended him. Can you explain?
No, I defended the rhetoric that we're using across our country and what our children are listening to and what we're doing. We've reached a point in this country where we no longer want to engage in conversation. They were even calling him Hitler. That's an insult.
That was only his vice president.
That was an insult. That was an insult to the millions of Jews and others who died.
These women are ridiculous, man. Like, why even mention that? Why even mention JD Vance when we all know, like, we all know, man. And JD Vance being a former Never Trumper was also made it even more beautiful. It made more people relate. It made you and I relate more. I used to be a Never Trumper, an anti-Trumper. I used to listen to the fake news, the media, family and friends, and I didn't get to think for myself. I used to think this, and that. And there's been millions, billions, tons of people that have had a change of heart. Anti-Trumpers, liberals, Democrats, lifelong Democrats. Come on now.
We know what Hitler did. And what I said to our country, when I'm on the streets talking to my young people who are protesting on college campuses, wearing Hamas signs and calling for the destructions of groups, I said, we have to bring down this rhetoric. We have to start engaging in conversation.
Yeah, and so this is, again, showing you why they lost the election. They won't even acknowledge that it was even wrong to repeat the idea that someone else had said that he was Hitler. I don't care if you're saying that someone else said it. I don't care if you said it. The fact that it's even a topic of conversation is disrespectful to people who were murdered at the hands of Hitler. Yeah. And these ladies on The View, they are despicable. They won't even denounce it. They won't even say, hey, you know what? Even though we don't like Trump, we definitely do not agree, and we will condemn these comments because that is disrespectful to the victims of Hitler. So again, that would require what, ladies and gentlemen? Emotional intelligence. All right, so Mayor Eric Adams, he's not the one, okay? You're not going to go in there and try to manipulate him and try to get him with gotcha questions. It just isn't going to work. He's too confident, politically savvy, and I think The View started to notice that. And you'll see how they react to people based on who they bring on. Clearly, their reaction to him was, we'll just let him talk. We'll try to throw in some gotcha questions here or there and see if he takes the bait, which clearly he didn't. So this brings me to my question for you. Do you believe President-elect Trump, when he does become president, do you believe that he should pardon Mayor Eric Adams of all charges? Let me know what your thoughts are about that in the comment section below. Now, obviously, if it's proven that he did commit crimes, then the answer would probably be no. But we have yet to.
We know now. What y'all think? Comment down below, man. Yeah. We know, man. Yeah. You know, Trump said it now. Look, I'm just saying. We told him, shh, we gonna get you. We gonna get you now. Shh. But hey, man, thank y'all for stopping by. Let me know what y'all think of all this. I love y'all. We're wishing the best in everybody's life. And again, prayers for Trump. You know, we don't know what to expect next, man. Prayers for his family, his team, his campaign. I want to send my love and my prayers to you guys as well. You know, one love to the human race, man. I encourage y'all to spread that love to one another. And I will catch you beautiful people in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.